Do you see any possibility that a stand-your-ground defense, self-defense, can be used by this guy?
Well, they may try it. I'm not sure there's any other defense for what happened that night. So what they may try and say is that he acted or reacted to what he perceived to be what we know is self-defense, imminent threat of great bodily injury. But I don't know how he's going to prove that, because all of the witnesses say there really wasn't any threat going back and forth. And throwing anything, popcorn or anything else, even throwing a punch, doesn't get you to the point where you can use great bodily force like a firearm. And quite honestly, I think an officer who is trained in the spectrum of force and when to use the most deadly force you can, a firearm, should know much better that it should never get to that point unless he is truly in fear for immediate death or great bodily harm.
It's also, I mean, you're in a movie theater, you can get up and leave. It's not as if you are cornered, unable to run somewhere.
And he did. He got up and left, and then came back in. Supposedly went to the manager. No, I mean, this is... Look, you do have a commonality in all of these. We don't know what his mental state was, but it clearly wasn't stable. There's something going on if you decide you're just going to be so aggressive as to shoot somebody without this little provocation. And in all of these shootings, you have the common denominator of a man who's unstable in some way, and then has access to guns.
Well, no, and a gun where you don't expect a gun to be. One of the witnesses said, "Why did somebody bring a gun into a movie theater? Why would a gun be in a movie theater?" Guns are in every American setting. That's how many guns are out there. They're in bars. They're in elementary schools. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, the problem that we have is because we have such good and wide open gun laws, we have to look at gun responsibility. I don't know if it was, I hate to indict my gender, but I don't know if it was a flush of testosterone or something. But for some reason, a guy who's got that great of an experience as a law enforcement officer decided it was fair game to take out a gun and shoot. We are killing way too many people for way too little reasons. From this case to, you know, the cop who shot the kid with schizophrenia a couple of days ago, to the 3 or 4 people in the past 6 months who have approached a person's house, knocked on the door, and ended up getting shot.
Just so we're clear, this is George Zimmerman's lawyer we're talking to? What? Just so we're clear, this is George Zimmerman's lawyer that we're talking to?
Yeah. Unless you have absolutely good reason to defend yourself with deadly force, you're not supposed to do it.
George Zimmerman, who the 911 dispatcher said to leave Trayvon Martin alone and to leave the area and let the police handle it, he had a right to shoot Trayvon Martin in the chest.
Only after Trayvon Martin broke his nose, put him on the floor, beat him 45 seconds. We could retry the case if you want, but the reality is the jury had much more of the evidence, had much less of a bias than you seem to have, and decided he was not guilty. Focusing on the case, what we really probably should be, which is whether or not this guy acted reasonable. Tell me where the 45 seconds of beating is. Tell me where the smashing head on the concrete is. It's not there. This guy overreacted using deadly force, and though we have to wait until all the facts are out, we cannot make believe that it is okay to shoot somebody if you get thrown in the face with popcorn.
I also got to say that, I mean, having a former police officer or even off-duty police officer with a gun, that's somebody I wouldn't mind having a gun on them. I mean, frankly, in most scenarios, somebody who has well-trained, who's been trained in use of force.
And doesn't that sort of put the lie to the gun lobbies thing, that it's not guns that kill, it's people that kill, people who kill? Well, this was a so-called good person with a gun. You know, I mean, it just puts the whole darn thing on its head. And can I bring in Australia again?
You can do whatever you want.
They have to vote there, which means everybody votes. They might just spoil their ballot, but everybody has to come out to vote. And this affects the whole body politic. It makes mainstream politics much more the dominant force. And people want sensible laws in every respect, okay? Gun control, let's talk about it. And even here, 99% of people voted and were polled and said they wanted sensible gun control laws here. Why can't we just have that?
But sensible gun, I mean, it all defines what you mean by sensible gun control laws.
Sensible means not taking people's guns away, not taking the Second Amendment away, not, taking away their right to bear arms. But,
No, but I think
fine, mental illness as well, but come on,
but
give me a break.
There's huge disagreement here about what's sensible. I mean, that's where this all grinds to a halt. No, there shouldn't be. I mean, I think you and I probably agree on what's sensible. But there is huge disagreement out there in the country about what is sensible.
Well.